So hey guys, can you hear me well? Okay, so because the headset is sometimes doing wacky stuff. So um, how do I start? I think I became lucky because out of the blue, Chucky Fucky presented it himself and that he wanted to do the translations, or actually he wanted to translate some of my posts. He's here, so maybe he wants to say a word. Chucky Fucky, are you here? Well, maybe later then. Anyway, so that was great news. So because doing the transcripts is quite a lot of work, and because you have to edit, even though the automatic captions from YouTube are 95% correct, there's still a lot of room for improvement in the way people say their sentences, how they formulate them. So and also people like Xanax, they will be pretty accurate, but then again, they will fill their void by saying a lot of and and you know, you get the feeling. So it becomes like a pretty long whining to listen to them. And if you can read along, then you can maybe skip or you know, you stay engaged, right? So with the translations, which is great, a great addition, I see that we can actually disassemble hard to get products like BitShares and other projects. If you have it in text, you can quote it. You can ask direct questions, and if you then can engage and also see the people who are speaking, you can like link them from the audio to Steemit. And you can have links in the subtitles as well to the projects and stuff like that. So shout out to Alex Morris for doing actually a tool to merge the subtitles, because I'm recording all the tracks separately with the multi-channel option here in Mumble. And what it does is that I can recognize each speaker individually, and if there might be like noise in the future, somebody talking over each other, then you can edit that. I'm not doing that at the moment, but it's, you know, it's very quick to batch upload it to YouTube, and it will make separate videos. I have like a shell script to make videos out of it, which is just a very quick way of doing stuff. Although I might want to have this maybe as a feature on a server that people can just upload the tracks, but for now I'm just going to do it for people because it's like too complicated for them, I think, even though I publish the code on all the posts, or virtually all the posts. But the what we need help with is people who want to join, and the idea is because it's so a lot of work. We need extra support. Maybe if people are going to help us, then they need to, like, I think, fairly earn also some tokens and also some real money, because you're really. I did the BitShares hangout a few days ago, Thursday, and it really literally worked the whole day on it and then some. So it's a lot of work. So I envision that we. I already made a coin, and I have a vision that it's like a company on a blockchain where people can can sign up and do some work, and if they get to know a project by actually transcribing it or translating it, then they can actually become ambassadors for this project, because they by learning, by translating and transcribing, you learn a lot, and then you can become like an endpoint for people to ask questions. You also distribute it for your own community, the information from the project. So we think like it's fair to say that if projects who are winning or who are winning 1,000 Beyond Bits, that they should like think about reaching maybe a wider audience. Perfect example is BitSpark. Because BitSpark is working on remittance. A lot of Filipinos could use BitSpark, and thus it would be very nice to have people translate to Philippines or whatever their language is exactly. Sorry to say it this way, but I really don't know. I hope with this that we'll reach more people by having translations done this way, and that they also become in the end ambassadors. So we'd like to reward them with some coins, which may be worth something in the future if this would get like really big. Because I believe in a thing called like Steam jobs. Because fighting for upvotes on blogs is, you can do it this way, but really contributing to the platform is maybe even better. I mean, like Steemit is pretty centralized in my opinion, and I really like the approach we are doing here in the Whale Tank. And I was really hoping that people could like also maybe build websites and all the apps into one system, because now it's really scattered all around. And yeah, with support for these projects by like Transcribing, it's the first step to connect to people, and then we can go on maybe to do like explain like I'm 5 and grow this idea of because these crypto projects are quite difficult to understand. I mean, my first time trying to connect here on the Whale Tank and creating a coin, it was not easy, and it became with a little bit of stress, which like it's not bad, and it filters out people, who want to just gain a quick buck. But on the other hand, if they want to really use it, I mean, I always hear people, yeah, I've used Bittrex or I use this and this service, and I never hear them using, yeah, I use BitShares. No, it's always something else. So, and I like BitShares a lot. So I think I will, for myself, tackle the complicated projects, and I will let others get acquainted with easier projects, so that they don't have a hard time. And because I also believe in not doing the same work all over again, and so that you can grow in this decentralized company, I could say. So we need help with the coin idea. So our idea is to like split the revenues with the translators. Chucky found a way to do that. I'm not sure what it's called. If you're here, Chucky, can you maybe chime in and tell something about how you found this this revenue splitting thing? Yeah, so I really see that people who are interested in our work want to get out there. Their project is bigger, like BitSpark or Topsol, that they make use of this translation service and transcribing service, because then they can reach a lot more people. And also by winning like 1,000 Beyond Bits, they can give us a bit so that we can upload their posts. We can also give them of course, their the output of our work, so they can use it on their own website. Also, they can do it afterward. But I think it's good to know that either way we get like upvotes, or we use Beyond Bits to upload it, or they have to pay up a little bit more to make this thing viable in the future as well. So if you have any questions, please ask them now, and we will. I or Chucky Foggy will be happy to answer them. And if you want to join, that would be great too. Yeah, exactly. So what is also really cool is that you can have interactive transcriptions, which look like sentences, and they light up. They are being highlighted when it's being said, pronounced. You're hearing the current sentence, and but I think this cannot be done with Steam, because Steemit is it's all static HTML. So, but we can always do it on a separate server. Yeah, and I'm very glad that Chucky Fucky is more the type to connect with people. I must admit I haven't been very active in that because it was so much work, and I'm actually also looking at the technical side a lot, because that had to be built first, because I don't expect people to learn that, because it's quite if you're not familiar with it, it's not easy. So, but Alex Morris did a great job of making an actual object-oriented program instead of like some weird obscure shell scripts I use. And so at least it has helped a lot to create a beautiful transcript out of the subtitles, and so it's really worth it to have the tracks separated, so you can separate who said what, and who said what. It's of course possible to just use the the traditional way. Yeah, but why not do it nice? So if anybody has any questions, please go ahead. Yeah, I just wanted to say something real quick, if I can. Okay, so the idea is already here, but I'm not sure if it's like viable. But the idea was to give these tokens to people, or they can buy them, and then if people are doing work, then they can like return them and get paid, something like that. So maybe you know you have some tokens, but you can only use them for like upvoting or have like a share in the company, and have also a way of like saying like, hey, I bought some of your tokens. I would need to have this and this done, and we can schedule it, and it's like a sort of accounting. But like I said, I'm not very keen on all the possibilities yet, so might have to read up something, or we'll connect with you, Fuzzy, and we'll figure out something out, I'm sure. Pleasure.